Not gonna lie, 2023 was a pretty great year for animation. Some of my favorite animated movies of all time came out last year. Y'all just don't know how much this movie means to me. And though it didn't win the Oscar, it won like a buttload of other awards, just check the gram. Mutant Mayhem was there to flex some awesome 2.5 animation and zany humor. Adam Sandler made one of his best movies probably ever, and DreamWorks just barely got by, with Gen Z cracking and boy band jokes the movie. Still better than most of what DreamWorks has put out this year so far. We don't talk about Megamind 2. Also, Pixar made the Ginger Swap Fireboy and Water Girl movie, which was a nice watch, just nothing particularly amazing, but those water effects still look delicious, like just pour me a glass of Wade already. But enough of the past, let's look ahead at what the rest of 2024 animation has in store for us.
Life here is pretty near perfect. Little did I know, it was all about to collapse. Odie, I'm dreaming again. Slap me across the face.
Why does Hollywood insist on Pratt so dang much? Like, what does this dude have? Or maybe a better question is, what does his agent have? Do him and Awkwafina share the same agent? Cause she's marked her territory on almost every new animated film release as of late. Pratt is now voicing platinum nostalgic characters like it's nothing, and not even really doing a stellar job at it either. Admittedly not a terrible job, but I was still ultimately unimpressed with his Mario, partially because I knew they could have easily chose someone better, like his original voice actor, who's in the movie. They really think the Mario movie wouldn't still make $1 billion if the guy who's been voicing Mario for decades voiced him in the official movie? I hate the system. Pratt's take on Garfield is okay. I still would have preferred Frank Welker's more deadpan delivery.
Never, John. Bury me in cheese.
I mean, Garf here occasionally sounds like he enjoys Mondays, drinks peach tea, and eats every meal with a hearty side of coleslaw. That was oddly specific. Also, Perito now plays Odie, and I'm willing to let go of the obvious celebrity glazing because Odie seems very sarcastic and self-aware, and I love that. After years of being devalued and bullied by Garf, it's almost cathartic to see. But overall, this movie will probably be fine. I love the animation, it's colorful and snappy, it has lots of energy, the character designs are pretty nicely rendered, and this film will at least be better than the live action ones, which honestly isn't a high bar to clear. We'll be seeing this in theaters with a plate of lasagna.
Something is missing.
This guy.
Oh, there's my boy. Dada.
Yes, of course he loves you. He just doesn't show it on his face or with his body language. Right, Prue Jr., come on.
No way Illumination just straight up copy and pasted Jack's design. Sorry, that needed to be said. A fourth movie was inevitable. Despicable Me is like the highest grossing animated movie franchise of all time. Total goldmine. So why stop now? I get the whole if it ain't broke angle, but I feel like by this point in the franchise, we should be getting some type of new dynamic. The girls are still the same age? How much more interesting would it be if they were actually teenagers now? Or better yet, instead of doing the tired baby hijinks shtick, you have the son aged up a bit to where he's learning more about himself. He's caught in between wanting to be good like his dad and mom, but also yearning to dabble in villainy with his uncle. Like bro, that would be such an interesting story to tackle. But once again, this is Illumination, probably the safest mainstream animation studio to exist currently. Once again, the movie will most likely be fine, but please for the love of God, change something.
Sorry, we wanted to make such a good first impression.
What do you mean, we?
I'm Envy.
Look at your hair. Oh yeah, not happening.
That's on we.
On what?
It's what you would call the boredom.
Aw man, please be good. Pixar hasn't made anything truly terrible in the past couple years, but they're still struggling to make more of the truly life-changing masterpieces that they did back in the early 2000s. A rat cooked my food and I liked it. Overall, this movie looks really promising. The colors and animation pop. It's nice to see Riley aged up a bit. See Illumination, it is possible, and I like the new emotions so far. We got anxiety, emo, I mean ennui. I have never heard of this word, but I'm just gonna go with it. Envy and nerds. Nope, that's not right. I mean embarrassment.
What's your name, big fella?
Uh-oh, seems like we might be having some chemistry between these two. A little bit of love, a little bit of romance. And I guess it can't be a twist villain if you already reveal it in the trailer. I don't really buy her being fully evil though. She's obviously gonna have some type of redemption arc. So as far as another puberty coming of age story, I'm excited to see this, even more so because I love the first movie.
How long do you think we'll be here? I'm not talking to you.
You know what? We are so screwed.
Thought you weren't talking to me.
This seems fine. The animation does feel more like a TV series than movie, but it's definitely not bad, and the world building looks pretty darn good. And as much as we hate on animated movies for celebrity voice casting, most of the time everybody does a fine, if not good job. I honestly don't mind Thor as Orion Pax. He sounds like a younger Optimus, which is cool. The jokes do feel a bit try-hard at times, but going along with another popular animated movie trope of putting all of your corniest or craziest jokes in the trailer to draw in younger audiences, I think a tonal shift is very much needed to get the tragicness of Orion and Dee's backstory to feel weighty. Am I sold on this being an adult animated movie? Absolutely not. But some people are for some reason. They have a good backstory here. Now they just have to take advantage of it. Why is she kinda... Holy cow, this looks amazing. The animation is just absolutely stunning and really brings the awesome book it's based on to life. Just look at this beautiful and bizarre lighting. Chris Sanders, who worked on the How to Train Your Dragon and Lilo and Stitch movies, is behind this, and I have a lot of faith it's gonna put DreamWorks back on top after this whole situation. Still can't get over how bad this turned out. And wait, both this movie and Transformers are coming out on the same day? Battle of the Bots, huh? I wonder if people will be more willing to see nostalgic IP versus book-based IP. I think I know the answer, and I'm not sure I like it. Now that we got the big stuff out of the way, let's take a look at the more or less C-tier stuff.
Last week, I just started falling apart. Oh. You're sucking the oxygen out of the room.
Honestly, Doc, if this is how it's gonna be, I'm just gonna wheel myself back and plug in.
If basically looks like Foster's Home, except if the show's whole plot was finding a place for them to live rather than actually just living there. I feel like the biggest draw for a lot of people is just how stacked the cast is for this movie. Still couldn't keep Awkwafina out of it, huh? And Jim is creating it. It almost gives me a Roger Rabbit type vibe, except the characters are all CG, and that has obviously lost all of its novelty. I'll watch it, but probably won't rush to see it in theaters. As far as Baby Man Harold and his purple riding stick goes, just why? I really love the first half of this trailer where everything is hand-drawn and just oozing with playful nostalgia. Yeah, these images transported me back to childhood, and that's fantastic. The other half is cartoon characters transported to the real world where mildly but never that funny hijinks ensue. Still don't trust audiences will show up for a 2D movie, huh? No thanks. But we'll still inevitably watch this, so what the heck.
Squagglepalooza! Give it up for the world's next big musical legend!
This looks interesting. The whole self-discovery you should have been yourself all along is a bit of a tired message, but the animation and design seem to have some inspired cartoon energy to them. Just to look at this goofy dude. So yeah, it will probably once again be decent. Well, that's about it. We got a new Looney Tunes movie releasing in theaters that's actually hand-drawn. Thank Frank. So what animated movies are you looking forward to this year, and which are you not? I feel like sequels are doing a lot of the heavy lifting this year, but that's just current Hollywood for ya. I mean, one of these has gotta keep us tied over until the sequel of The Century drops, right?